Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Saturn and major adverse aspect to the South Node in a natal horoscope. As most of you know, the South Node is associated with what we generally will perhaps overemphasize it and accentuate very strongly, often in the first part of our lives, and when we hit around age 30 or so, generally divert to the North Node, without necessarily eradicating the South Node energy completely, but merely integrating it at least somewhat with the South Node energy. And as most of you know, the North Node is connected with the soul's mission or purpose. Now, Saturn is connected with responsibility, limitations, restrictions, discipline. It's even associated with the father. It's the taskmaster, the teacher. And we look at Saturn as also, I look at this as a very conservative and pragmatic type of planet. So anyway, well, one thing, first thing I look at if somebody has Saturn in a major adverse aspect with the South Node, it may indicate that perhaps there might be some restrictions or self-imposed restrictions that might play a role in perhaps in maybe further development of their South Node abilities. Or what we can look at too is that maybe the South Node interest might dominate this person so much, and they may be so engrossed in this that maybe perhaps they might wind up shirking some responsibilities to some degree. Responsibilities may prohibit this person from pursuing their South Node completely. Now, don't get me wrong, the South Node is still associated with overdeveloped and emphasized qualities. It just, what could happen is that this person might not be able to really pursue, I guess you could say, that mission, that first half in the life mission, or that thing that they're really maybe they strongly want to emphasize in that first part of the life, perhaps. Now, we look at these aspects as well, and it could be something where the father might not agree with what this person what they're emphasizing strongly early on in life. This could indicate a possible someone that is overly prudent and assiduous and cautious. Maybe a lack of maybe hesitation in action might preclude this person from perhaps doing what they want to do that's associated with the South Node. This could indicate also perhaps that maybe if this person has a negative aspect with Saturn in the South Node, it could show that perhaps what the fads are in life, trends and fads, they might conflict with this person's maybe something with their viewpoint, maybe perhaps an overly pragmatic or conservative outlook may go against or contradict somewhat to what whatever the fad or the trends are at that particular point in time. This may lead to possible perhaps seclusion to some degree, or need for solitude, or this could just be part of the person's nature with this aspect, maybe due to the fact they might not feel that they don't maybe feel like they're quite in that club, so to speak, with many people, and this could lead to perhaps some kind of secluded tendencies or some need for solitude. If this person might have trouble amalgamating, I guess you could say, maybe their ambitions into that life's purpose in that first, I guess you could say, or what they want to pursue strongly in that first part of the person's life, perhaps. We could look at an example. Say if somebody has Saturn in the 4th, and they have the South Node in the 10th house, it could indicate that maybe the South Node, which would be in the 10th, may want to emphasize career matters and things that are connected with accolades or notoriety and standing in their community. Those things might predominate early on in life and maybe might cause the person to shirk responsibilities in their home and family life. If you have, let's say, we'll take a square from the 12th house to the 9th. Now let's say Saturn is in the 12th and you have the south node in the 9th house. This could indicate that perhaps with Saturn in the 12th, that need perhaps for solitude and perhaps some isolation to some degree might preclude this person from maybe wanting to emphasize their south node energy in the 9th house, which would be connected with higher education and long distance traveling perhaps. And so anyway, that's basically it. The only thing is that obviously if you have the square aspect, you'll have the square aspect with the north node and Saturn as well. But if you have say you have the opposition between the south node and Saturn, you'll have the conjunction with the north node and Saturn. So there's something a little more to look forward to in that first part of the life where, in the second part of life, when you generally will emphasize the north node more, and this could indicate an ability to incorporate pragmatism, responsibility, and discipline into whatever that mission or purpose is at that point in time. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Saturn in major adverse aspect to the south node in a natal horoscope. Stay tuned next time where I'll be talking about Uranus conjunct the south node in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.